This is Ashton Marcus with A&B Theater, and I'm on location at Cabrillo Playhouse for the weekend opening of J.B. Priestley's An Inspector Calls. With me is Cliff Brown, who plays Arthur Burling. So how's the performance?
Oh, it was an excellent performance. A lot of fun, a lot of good energy from the crowd, so we had a good time.
Great. You know, this is radio, so a lot of people can't see you, obviously. You're African-American, but you're playing a mainstream role.
Yeah, well, this is Orange County, so all of these are colorblind, the way the parts are handed out. So you just pick the best actor you have available.
You know, that wasn't always the case, say 20 or 30 years ago.
Probably not, but right now, though, the way things are staged, you'll see a lot of casting that's just basically about the performance, not so much about the nationality.
I also feel that same way. I believe a television series out, The Flash, where I believe they had an African-American woman playing against the lead character.
That's true. I've seen that show. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, and again, it's like I don't think that's that big of a deal. I mean, what do you think about that?
Having read through the comic books, and you can see those kind of role reversals quite often. Nick Fury, who started out in the 50s and 60s as Caucasian, and now the Nick Fury that mainstream knows about is African American. So I see a lot of that, race change.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I guess it's kind of just telling, it being tomorrow being Martin Luther King's birthday.
Yes. Well, it's a great thing. So it's great to have that kind of ability for everybody to be able to participate. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
You betcha. Thank you.
And your name is?
My name is Jennifer Golden. I'm married to the director, and also he played the role of the inspector in this play.
And you play?
I'm playing the role of Mrs. Burling. Mrs. Burling is married to Mr. Burling, and they are the upper class, and this takes place in 1910, which they probably already explained to you. So my character, the whole purpose of Mrs. Burling is that she's trying to impress everyone around her. So there's a scandal that happens during the play, and it's very unfortunate for her because she has pretty much guaranteed that her daughter is going to be married to someone in the right class and that she's going to be well off, and she has everything under control, and then everything begins to unravel during the course of the play.
So how was the experience?
It's a wonderful experience. I love the Cabrillo Playhouse. It's very small and intimate theater. It doesn't get better than this. And it's always wonderful to do any kind of theater with my husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was actually a very good performance.
Thank you very much. We enjoyed it very much. This was a fun crowd today. They laughed a lot, which is very unusual for this play, but they seemed to enjoy it. And there's a twist at the end, which is very exciting. And there's usually a lot of gasps from the audience when they find out what happened.
And do you find it challenging to be working with your husband? Because I'm told some people in theater, they don't like that. They don't like working with their spouses.
No, I can't say it's a challenge to work with him. He's a wonderful director, and he's very kind and very affirming, and we work very well together.
Okay. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
With me is Jeremy Golden, who plays the inspector and is director of the show. So how's the performance?
I think it's going very well. This was a weird time for us to rehearse. We had to rehearse over the holidays. It was a shortened rehearsal process. But with some very difficult material, I think we've come together. This opening weekend has been very positive, a lot of positive response. And I'm really proud of what this cast has come together to do. It's a wonderful product. I think it's a very enjoyable show to watch.
You're also the lead actor, too.
Yes, it wasn't intended that way, but we had some people drop out at the last second, and rather than try to jump, early in the process, but it's just the way it worked. I am an actor and director. I don't usually like to take both on, and it makes it extremely challenging, but I had a wonderful assistant director to help me out, so she was there all along, and she's the stage manager too, so it made the process work. Which it's a lot of fun. It's a wonderful role, but it was definitely challenging being both roles.
Not all of my viewers actually are familiar with the Cabrillo Playhouse. Could you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, Cabrillo Playhouse has been here in San Clemente as a theater since the mid-'60s, so it's been around a long time. San Clemente Community Theater, among other names. Cabrillo Playhouse is where it stands now. It's a converted house here in San Clemente, just a block off the main strip there. And it's a 66-seat theater, really small, intimate space, but it's a really fun space to perform in as well as to see a show. There isn't a lot of theaters like this around where it's that kind of intimate space for the audience to see the actors so up close. So those moments that we have, especially in this show, that are just so engaging and intense, the audience is right on top of you there, and so they become part of that process. Unlike most any theater I've ever worked in, when an audience responds, a slight gasp, but just a little murmur, we feel it there on stage. We feel that energy. It's the epitome of live theater. It's what we love about live theater, and so this is a great venue for that.
I noticed a lot of your cast are teachers. Is that intentional, or does that just happen?
Part of it was because they're ones that I knew, but yes, they are. Chris playing Gerald is. I've known him for a little while, and he's got his theater degree, and his wife has got her degree, and she's working to be a teacher. And it's just in community theater, it often is difficult to find those that are making a living doing theater because the pay isn't there. So I like to dig into places where people have the training, have the experience, but aren't trying to make a living doing it, which is wonderful. So I think I was very fortunate in finding several of the ones that I did, whether they're teaching and have degrees, or I've got a couple of younger ones that are just started into working on their post-secondary schooling for theater. I thought I was very fortunate to get who I got.
Yeah, that's very good, because as the director, you are responsible for getting the people, and right. A lot of people find that very challenging.
It is very challenging, and we had our challenges. We had some people that I had, and they ended up dropping out because of the rough time to be rehearsing. So I was fortunate to get the ones that I had, and it was a real blessing.
So these are the patrons they talk to.
Yeah, afterwards, the Cabrillo invites patrons to come out onto the deck and just do a little informal talk back. And some of them are ones that we have invited, but oftentimes they'll have just patrons that have come to see the show that want to interact with the cast and just do their own little talk back. It's a kind of a fun process, us to give back and them to give to us as well.
Right. Yeah. You can't do that in major theaters.
Yeah,
theaters.
You do it in some. I mean, you can go to Broadway and the fans will be on the side, waiting to get autographs and such, but this is different. This is just kind of informal, and they can give their appreciation, we can give our appreciation, and they ask us questions sometimes, and it's fun. It's a great way to kind of tie it up for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice experience, nice casual experience and actually today is like NFC Championship, so people did come out, so it's like it's not like they didn't have anything to do.
That's right. There's we compete with things like that, and and it is what it is. I mean, this is a different crowd than is out watching the football game. So I'm glad to be able to have something to offer everybody.
Right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming and checking us out.
Okay. So how's the show?
Oh, it was great. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. It was the first production out of high school, so I really enjoyed it. It was fun working with a bunch of new people, adults too, which is different and weird, but I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of us are at the age where they forget where you are. What are you going through right now? What are your expectations?
Well, I was really nerve-wracking at first, especially working with adults, I think, especially going into that. But I just try to take it like one step at a time, and I just kind of do my best, I guess. And I came on late too, which was even more nervous, especially the first couple weeks going into that. It was really hard because everyone knew each other, and so I came in late also, and then being the youngest was really difficult for me. But they were really open and accepting for me, so I just kind of joined in, and then we've gotten pretty close. So it's been a great process. Yeah.
This looks like you did pretty well.
Oh, thank you so much. This is like my second year or third year about doing performing. I had a really late start in it, but I've really enjoyed it, and I try to push myself each time just to be best that I can be almost. So I don't know what the future holds, but I'm loving it. Just living in the now, I guess. So yeah.
Are you gonna do anything to celebrate?
I'm hanging out with family, go out with friends, stuff like that. That's about it for the most part. Just keep working hard. So yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much.
Really? Did you say it's your brother?
Yeah.
So your name is
Chris Hickson.
And you play?
Gerald Croft.
My character, he is a well-to-do son of a business owner, and he is about to be married into the Burling family. He's going to be marrying Mr. Burling's daughter, Sheila, and it turns out that he has had an affair to the side with one of the victim in the show that is discussed, and has had a relationship with her and has helped her out financially, and so that's his character, and that's what he has to deal with during the show.
Okay. Oh, you've been acting for quite a while.
Yes, I have. I've been acting since I was 10 years old. I grew up in Southern California and went to the University of Arizona and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Musical Theater, and lived in New York for a while and pursued acting there, and now I currently teach drama at Los Alisos Intermediate School.
Yeah, and according to this, you're actually applying for equity membership.
Yes, I am. I'm an equity membership candidate. I've been to that for 3 or 4 years now, and this show is kind of my first introduction back to theater in a couple of years, so it's been great to do that. And down the road, if I get my equity card, then that would be awesome as well.
I've heard a lot of pluses and minuses against that. One is you can't go back to non-equity.
And that is correct. You can't. So I wouldn't be able to do local community theater. I would only be able to work in equity houses. So yes, there are good things about being a part of a union, and certainly bad parts as well. So
yeah, well, good luck with that. But again, I've also heard that some people might not be able to get enough work with that, and you can't. Again, like I said, you can't go back to non-equity.
Correct, yeah. It's definitely a competitive field, and being an equity actor, there's a lot of prestige that comes with that, but the competition certainly becomes much more challenging, specifically since many actors that's their only job, or that's their main goal, and they work side jobs, where having a career already started as a teacher, being an equity actor would probably be very limiting to me.
Yeah, but also in an equity show, a big one, you'd have to take time off of your work. I mean, do you plan to continue teaching?
I'm certainly open to any possibilities that come my way. I love teaching. I love what I'm doing now, and I love doing community theater. But certainly I'm not closed to any sort of opportunities that would come my way. It would just depend on where the path led.
Thank you very much for being on our show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, and you are?
Jennifer Hickson.
And you play?
Sheila Burling. Sheila is the daughter of Arthur Burling and Sybil Burling. So she opens the show with her engagement to Gerald. And throughout the course of the show, she really grows up a lot as she kind of discovers her own opinions about what's going on and what she hears from the inspector, and what she finds out about Gerald's infidelity, and really kind of comes into her own and decides to be her own person.
You've been doing this for quite some time.
Yes, I've been acting since I was very young, and just always enjoyed it. I was a dancer for a long time, and actually got my degree in theater as well, and pursued acting in Hollywood for a bit, and have started my teaching career now. So,
what keeps you doing this?
Oh, I love the live audience. I actually, when I decided to pursue some Hollywood ventures, I really missed being in front of a live audience. TV and film is a lot different than live theater, and it's really fun to be back and feel that energy of a live performance every night.
Any advice you have for the younger people who actually want to pursue a career in this?
Yes. If you really, really, really want to pursue it, then you need to commit 100% wholeheartedly to not only perfecting your craft, but also marketing yourself. A big part about being a professional actor is marketing, and you need to be able to get out there, meet as many people as you can, take classes, master classes, workshops with casting directors and agents, so they get to know you and get to see your face. Every small opportunity is going to be good for your resume, so just every little bit counts.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
An Inspector Calls will be playing at Cabrillo Playhouse from January 16th to February 8th. For more information, go to www.cabrilloplayhouse.org or search for AMB Theater on